Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. This is your boy Mills, one half of the Food Joint Podcast.
This your man P. What's going on, brother?
I can't call it, man. You sound like you in a tunnel somewhere, bro.
Hey, listen, we have a very unique show for you guys today because we've been so busy. We haven't really had the time to get together the way we needed to, but we refuse to allow a week to go by without you getting a show. So I'm actually calling in to talk to my guy so we can do this show for y'all because, like I said, we refuse to miss a week. If we're not anything, we're very, very consistent and we want to remain that way.
Listen, that's the best thing you could be. It's consistent, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And guess what?
What's good?
Today is a very special day for me because today is the 12 year wedding anniversary of me and my wife.
Well, first off, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, man.
Second off, bro, I kind of remember I was there.
Well, yeah, but they don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
They don't know. And for all of the listeners, people that are listeners that may be married, listeners that may be thinking about getting married, already popped a question, engaged, whatever the case may be, something like this could give people hope and say, hey, look, if P can do it and he's been holding it down for 12 years, then what am I afraid of?
That's true.
So, but either way, I'm very blessed. Yes, you were there from the very beginning all the way up until now. So you have firsthand uh, information and, all the other nooks and crannies of the ins and outs of this. So,
Shout
you
out to the
know,
missus, man.
oh yeah, definitely shout out to the babe because listen, we've had very, very, very much more ups and downs, but her still waking up every day saying, I want to remain married to this guy laying next to me, that's a testament to her love that she has for me within itself. So,
No, for sure, man. And it's funny seeing y'all now versus back then. Like of course the comfort is there, but like it still remind me of back then when y'all first met. And that kind of relationship you can't buy and you can't fake.
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's funny because, bro, like, again, it's more Patreon stuff, but we have stories for days from back then when I was going after the babe and I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm hanging it up. Like this is it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you was like, what you talking about? Like, nah, all right, get out of here. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, it's a wrap. And you like, damn, for real? And then you was like, damn, it really is. And you was like, damn, you did that.
Yo,
Next thing you
listen,
know, we at my wedding reception getting bent.
you was getting bit. I don't think I was old enough to drink.
Man, listen, I was beyond bent. I logged off. I logged all the way off. It's
Listen.
funny. On the
Oh,
way to the crib after it was over, she's like, yo, you driving on the wrong side of the road. And I was like, yeah, but we the
damn.
only ones out here, so it's cool.
Somebody should have took y'all home, bro. But that's Patreon stuff. So real quick, you got tales for us this week?
I do. And it's a very, very recent tales. Like this actually just happened like the other day. So I don't have a title for it for the second time ever, but we have been extremely busy at work. End of the year, everybody's having, banquets and parties and this and that. And we had to do a dish up for 350 people to follow that up with another dish up for 550 people. But
Damn.
I'm going to talk about the one to 350. So it was an attempt. And we've had this conversation numerous times. Temps are temps for a reason.
Absolutely.
So it was this one temp. Bull came in super cocky, like he was Bull. We've all seen those types. So
They usually
we had
trash.
him we had him prepping potatoes because we had mash. Simple. You know how it goes. Quarter the potatoes, throw them in the Lexan or whatever tub you're going to throw them in, fill it up with water, and then when it's time to go, boom, 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 boom.
Time out real quick. For mash, y'all had them quartering them?
Well, we quarter the potatoes so they're smaller. That way they cook faster when we throw them in the steamer.
No, no, no. I know. Listen, I know. I get all that. But that's petty.
So what? We just have them cut them in half?
Do you do them in a pot or you got a steamer?
No, the rationale, the big oven that we have a steamer option on it, and then we'll just steam them, and then we'll just finish them in the mixer.
Oh, that's petty, bro. If you make it mash, I'm not cutting potatoes. But continue on.
Well, I wasn't cutting potatoes; he was.
I'm
So
just saying. I'm just saying. I get it. No, from y'all saying y'all from y'all point of view, whether we roasting them or make it mash, bro, get to work. I just was like, damn, that's kind of petty.
so now I'm kind of interested now. Like, how would you have done it?
You leave them whole and throw them in a steamer, yeah.
Oh, okay. You know, we cut
What'd you say?
his thing. He's diligent. He's doing it. He's knocking them Jones out. So we nicknamed him Slice because again, he's cocky. He think he bull. He's talking and carrying on. Slices his thumb. Stops. Puts a band-aid on. Puts like two gloves on. He's doing his thing. Now he must have been ambidextrous because I don't know how he did this. So he slices one thumb and then he slices the other thumb. And we're like, yo, are you okay? Like, do you need to go to the hospital? Like, what's going on over here? He was like, no, I'm good. Like, it's not even that bad. Goes, puts a band aid on the other one. His thumbs and his gloves now look like snow cones.
Oh my god, man.
So now it's like, yeah, I think I gotta go to the hospital. And it's like, bro, we're right in the middle of dishing up. Like, you can go soon as we done. Like, give us like 5 more minutes, bro. Like, you out of here. But here's the craziest part. Now he has an attitude because he has to finish. We finish. He's in the back. Like, yo, I'm hungry. Right? Let me make me a couple plates real quick before I go. But 10 minutes ago, you was dying. So what's really going on? Yo, when I tell you the bull had us in that joint rolling, like you almost cut your thumbs off. You want to go to the hospital, but now you're worried about making some plates because you're gonna be hungry later.
See, they temps for a reason.
Yeah,
Anytime
bro.
it be
That's a,
anytime. Listen, let me just drop this. Anytime I got a temp and they get hurt, I sign you out. You go straight to wherever you gotta go to. We just gonna have to tough it out. We would have toughed it out anyway, whether we had the temp or not, cause it be shit like that, and you don't know if they playing. Maybe they really hurt, but then they gonna be like, "Well, I'm hungry." They gonna 5 finger discount some shit. Like it's just easier just to cut your losses somewhere else or just to thug it out.
no, yeah. Listen, you're absolutely right. But I just thought that was funny because nothing surprises me. Like, I think it's safe to say we've almost seen everything there is to see. But those rare instances where it catches you off guard, you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at it like, I know he ain't just do that.
Right,
So what you got for us this week on the tails tip?
man. I give you something recent.
All right.
Um, I'm gonna call this one. Who the fuck is that, yo? So this happened to me recently. So of course, our both our weeks have been really, really, really hectic, and I promise you, and the listeners, I promise y'all, I was not doing anything kitchen related at all until one day over 75% of the staff called out.
Wait a minute. What?
Mm-hmm. 300 something employees, over 75% of them called out.
Well, that was planned.
It was payday.
Oh, okay.
So the thing is, I didn't have to do what I did, but the murmurs were starting to bother me. And this is pure ego shit. The murmurs were starting to bother me. Who the fuck is that? How the fuck did he ain't gonna tell me what to do? He just got a suit on. All that cool shit. So there's one person of my like direct staff, managers included, there's one person that kind of know. And she asked me about it. She pulled me to the side. She was like, respectfully, I looked at your hands. What you used to do before you got here? I said, I used to be exec. She's like, I fucking knew it. I said, don't tell anybody. She's like, I got you. So she comes up to me. She's one of the people that shows up. She's like, listen, she's like, it was one of the busier days too. So she's like, listen, I really got to take my break. Like, and I was like, you know what? I'll put the apron on. I'll hold your station down. She said, get real busy over there. I said, it's cool. I'll hold it down. So what she didn't tell me was she fucking decided to take her break right in the middle, right when it started popping. I'm killing shit. The fucking exec send somebody over there to help me. And I said, "Yo, can I help you?" He was like, "No, I just came over to, I'm just make sure you got everything you need. Like maybe you need some help." I was like, "You just gonna be in my way?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, just tell me where everything is." I said, "Where are my backups?" He's like, "You got the refrigerator behind you and the refrigerator under you." I said, "Cool." I was like, "Thank you." I knock her whole thing out. She comes back off a break. I say, "Yo, why you?" I was like, "It's funny you came back off a break when nobody's here." And she was like, "Did you kick somebody off my station?" I said, "Yeah, they was gonna be in my way." She was like, "Well, what about me? Like the second rush is coming." I'm like, "Well, I dealt with it. You gotta deal with it too." But jokes are, joking around. Of course, I helped her out, but it was like I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I ended up doing it, bro. It was bad. It was bad. I've never seen that many call outs in my life. If you take everywhere I worked at up until that point, that number doesn't even equal how many call outs it was that day.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's beyond crazy. Actually, I would have been mad because I would have looked at it like, oh, this is personal.
Uh, because of where I'm at, it's so massive, and so it's so the departments are so like interconnected, kind of like I absolutely was personal, but it was a trickle down kind of personal. This person made me mad, and I told my friend, and my friend told their friend, and they were, even though they work in a completely different building or a completely different department, it trickled down that way.
So it was like a mass exodus of fuck yous, basically, and just as it always does when the ship started rolling down the hill, it just so happened to hit you too.
Yeah, but I was bored. I
You said you was bull.
was bored.
Oh, you was bored.
I was bored as shit, and it was like the one. I was like, all right, let me. I'm rusty, but I still got it. And then
I'm about to say that that was just a little test. That was just a whole that was a little, hey, listen, I know you wanted to get away from this, but this is just a reminder to show you who you really are.
oh no, for sure. They slowly starting to figure out. And it's kind of like, they'll ask me like, you used to be a chef, but they don't know to what extent. Like the Food Joint Podcast family, like y'all know the extent of like I'm with whatever. I'm with All Smoke. To them, they just like, oh well, you can cook a little bit. Like he used to be chef, but
Like whatever.
whatever. Yeah, yeah, that's cool too.
That's when you gotta hit them with the Google me, bitch.
They don't even. I don't. You don't even have to do that, cause half y'all won't even be here. Not even half, bro. That same 75%. Like, y'all wouldn't last if me chef me. I wouldn't even last. But that's okay. I hung it up. I pull it down every once in a while, but that was it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck? Not even. I couldn't even go 30 days, and I already had to jump back in.
Listen, the crazy part about it is that could never happen where I work at because our department is so small, bro. Like it's really like five of us.
Man,
Like we be in that job faithfully, like dog. Up until the other day, and this isn't nothing that you ain't never did before. But up until the other day, so I worked 14 days straight.
oh yeah, listen, I remember them days.
14 straight just to be off one, come back another six straight, and I'm off the next couple, and then get right back at it again. So it's the grind that never stops. But you hope it doesn't stop because if it does, what are you going to do?
Shit, if I could think of a couple things, bro. I do not miss none of that shit. I really don't.
Well, for you, I can see exactly why you don't. There's something called, everybody knows it. There's something called paying your dues, but then there's something totally different where then you're like you overly pay your dues. Like you pay them to the point where you should be getting a what's those checks we got over the pandemic? What do they call those again?
Don't give me the line. I was just cashing them.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I get what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. Let me tell you something. Paying your dues to the point where paying your dues and also to the point where you're overly paying your dues is a facade. It's not real because you look at it and you thinking about it like I'm paying my dues, I'm doing my thing, I'm putting in all these hours, and then what do you really have to show for it but blood, blisters, and experiences?
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head with that one.
So don't get your experience and get your reps in. That's the real part about it. Get your experience and get your reps in. Paying your dues shouldn't have to come with sacrificing one thing for the other.
Nah, yeah, you're right.
I.e., sleep, rest, healthy eating, days off to clear your mind, declutter, decompress.
No,
So,
yeah, listen, you're absolutely right. And the words I was looking for was stimulus check.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The stimmies.
No, yeah, for sure. I remember it was a time where I was like, yo, I'm paying my dues. And then I was getting hit off with extra money, but then what's the point? It can't go nowhere to spend it. I'm
Oh
actually
yeah.
I'm actually spending it at the place that gave me the little extra money. Like it just went right back to them because it's time to eat.
Right,
So,
right.
or it's
So
time for me
clip
to get a towel room because I'm I'm doing a 19-hour shift. It don't make sense to go home at midnight when I got to come right back at 4 a.m.
oh, we call those the clopins.
The
The
Clopins,
clopins, the close open.
the Iron Man shifts.
You know, I did those for a long time when I was at the hotel until I finally got smart, and I don't know why it took me so long. And hey, listen, closed mouths don't get fed.
For
So
sure.
I definitely understand why this courtesy wasn't extended to me because I didn't ask for it. But I was looking at it like, why should I have to ask for it? But when I finally got smart and I woke up, I said, listen, I'm not doing this no more. If y'all want me to close and then come back, I need a hotel room. Like, I need a room. I need to stay here, so I'll already be here. Like, simple as that. And if y'all can't give me a room, then please don't ask me to do any more of these shifts. And they was like, damn, this boy finally got smart.
You want a suite?
And I got the rooms for dinner on out. I got the rooms. The babe came down. No need to stress the rest. And that was that.
Yeah, bro.
But, huh?
Yeah, bro. That's your benefit. I know you get everybody gets their benefits. Uh, dental, vision, and just general health. Right? You get your
Yeah.
perks, like you get to eat as much as you want. Depending on where you work, there's added benefits too, especially like when you work at a hotel and
Oh, absolutely.
you're a worker. I need I need
Absolutely.
I need two towel rooms for my staff members.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me, go ahead, tell me no. And I'll tell you, I'm definitely not coming in at 4 a.m. So,
Yep. And then, I was cool with all the bartenders. So, I already got the room for the night. Shift ends. I'm at the bar. I'm drinking and chilling and everything else. And I go upstairs and get a good night's sleep in that super comfortable bed with the 8,000 thread count Pima cotton sheets.
oh yeah, for sure.
And
As you
that's that.
should.
But so, quick
Yes, sir.
segue. So I have like a two-part topic, and I'm gonna ask you because again, we've been all around the mulberry bush. So I just want to know, and then for our listeners, please, per usual, comment, reach out to us, DM us, whatever the case may be, because we would like to hear yours as well.
For sure.
Now, the two parts that I would like to talk about are given we've worked everywhere there is to work, where do you rank or how do you rank your top places to eat versus your least favorite places to eat? That's the first part. And this is just as a person that has been in the industry for, forever.
Right.
But then the second part of it is knowing where we worked and where we've, eaten over the years. What top places would you recommend for people to go on date night? So you can start however you want to start with topic A, B, really doesn't matter. And then after you give me yours, I give you mine. We'll delve into it a little bit, talk about it. And then hopefully, you know, our listeners decide to chime in and we could talk about on our next show some of the stuff that they talk about.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding the first question right. So you were saying how do I rank them like from the best places compared to the worst
Like
place?
yeah, like for example, so we've worked at nursing homes, we've worked at restaurants, we've worked at hotels. So given where we worked, nursing home aside, because they're kind of janky when it comes to the food sometimes, most times. But considering we've worked at restaurants, I work at a diner or two. Then we have the hotel experience. We've been around all kinds of food.
Right.
So given all of our experience in these places where we've worked,
I got
when
you.
it comes,
I got you. Let
that's
me.
what I mean.
All right. So number one, number one, I would say is hotels, and this is specifically on where to work at. Number one for me is hotels.
Okay,
Number two, it's a 2A and a 2B because you have to make this distinction completely separate.
okay,
2A is upscale commercial restaurants. 2B is the very niche restaurant.
Got you.
This is why I separate them. So like I was doing 2A is like I'm just thinking about my time in premium steakhouse. Like it's volume and it's consistency and everything is from scratch.
Okay.
2B is it's not a lot of volume, but it's so detailed to the ad, like if you think about it like from a science, like to down to the molecule, everything is so specific and so detailed. And it's a great learning experience. The payoff isn't great in the end. So that's why I kind of got to differentiate 2A and 2B. And then I would say number three, I would say it would have to be it would be nursing homes, but it's more for the employee, not the people going there or living there.
I got you. Like the cafeterias and cafes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they have the.
Okay.
But see, the crazy part is, we both worked at this spot together, and then I worked at at something elevated where like my budget for a month was the budget at the spot for like 6 months.
Got you. Got you.
It's the same food. Well, let me not. Let me retract that. It's the same product. Those eggs you get from we got at the spot was the same eggs we was getting at top of the line nursing home. Same chicken, same beef. It's the same shit. It's just the attention to detail is different. And as far as in the second one, you was talking about dates, right? Like where you take. So I'm very like,
Peculiar.
I wouldn't say peculiar. When I go out on dates, it's either
Do
I'm
you go
enjoy.
out? Do you go out for the wow factor?
Hell no. I go out to enjoy myself. If I'm on a date, it's my job to wow my date.
That's what I meant.
No, okay. Listen what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. It's up to me to wow my date, and that has nothing to do with where we go out to eat or where we're going on a date.
Okay, I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can go somewhere and I could spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and we could not enjoy it at all. Or I could take you somewhere. I could spend $30 and you have one of the greatest nights of your life. Like it's for me, it's up to me. So I think about ambiance. I think about food, and I think about if we're going to be entertained at some point. Do I have those moments of pockets to add on to the entertainment?
Okay.
So please do your research. I'll give a couple places, but please do your research on this particular place. This place is called Fabrica. It is in Fishtown. Do your research before you go to this place because it is an experience like no other. Food, the food is cool. The entertainment is next level, but you still get your moments and times and pockets to like interact with your date. But just because the entertainment is so next level, if you not ready or you don't even understand what's going on, it may not be the place for you. So do your research before you go there. And it's a reasonable price point too, because
Okay.
you're paying for entertainment and you're paying for your food too. And for me, I try to keep them separate. So like if it would be like dinner and then do this, or do this and then go to dinner. I would say number two for me is the movie tavern. I know this is sound cheesy, but that movie in the dinner in the movie theater is nuts, and it's like amazing. Covers so much ground.
It does. Movie Tavern, um, it kind of fell off to me a little bit post pandemic because if you remember before the pandemic, you was getting your food brought out in real plates and bowls, real silverware,
Yeah,
cups, stuff like that. Like it was nice. Post pandemic, everything's throwaway.
yeah.
And it's like, how do you go? I get it, I do, but how do you go from that to this? And now this is the standard.
And the menus change too because you gotta understand you are using plastic cutlery, so it's like you can't have like skin on chicken thighs and try to cut it with a plastic knife. Like it just doesn't work. But and then I would say one place that has never ever failed me as far as like going on dates. I mentioned this before when we talked about like our favorite restaurants. Cake is like the ultimate brunch spot. I stand by it. It's blue magic for me. Like in my brain, I always look at cake like blue magic. Like I stand by it. I stamp
You
it.
guarantee it.
I guarantee it. And it's the only it's not even a knock. It's just prepare yourself. It's pretty much in like it's pretty much in it's kind of like a greenhouse. So when it's summer, you have to dress appropriately because you know the sun is coming in and the windows are like there's a lot of windows and you're baking in there. So if you go there in the middle of the summer, dress appropriately. But yeah,
Got you.
that's what I got. So what about you?
So for me, um, top three places for me would also be now. It would restaurants would definitely be. So my order's different. So restaurants for me would be number one, um, because in my experience, working in some and then being a I'm not a restaurateur by any stretch of the imagination, but I love to eat and go out. So I do try to go to as many restaurants as I can. But I've been to enough of them to
Real,
be able to appreciate the different levels, the different tiers of restaurants that there are to go to.
let me cut you off. I gotta get this bar off. I'm gonna tell you the funniest shit I heard in a long time. So at the new spot, somebody told me the fuck is a foodie.
What?
Listen, no, listen. He was like, the fuck is a foodie? When has being hungry been an attitude or a way of life? Nigga, you just hungry. Bro, it blew my mind, yo. I was like, damn, we really gave I'm hungry like an emotion or an attachment to it.
I, I I can't sit here and say with a straight face that what he said didn't make perfect sense.
Listen. It was just funny it was just funny how he put it, and I get it. I never thought about it on that way. I always thought about the technical term of it, but the people, there's a lot of people real quick, and then you can jump right back in. People be calling themselves foodies because they just eat food. That doesn't
Yeah.
make you a foodie. And sometimes it be people that be hungry, be like, "Oh, I'm a foodie. I'm gonna get me a salad." It's just like what? But continue on.
So second on the list for me would be um, hotels, because as we discussed in a previous episode, there's a difference between going to a restaurant and going to a restaurant inside of a hotel.
Hmm.
Huge difference. I mean, night and day. But some hotels, some of the more top tier, more refined hotels, these bigger brands, they have very nice restaurants inside their hotels.
Absolutely.
And what I love about hotel restaurants are most hotel restaurants are exclusive to the hotel in which you're staying or in which you're dining in. So I love the way executive chefs that run the kitchens for the hotels, for the restaurants. I love how they're able to be creative and think outside the box, because you can find very niche things on hotel restaurant menus that you will not find at a regular chain restaurant on their menu. So I think hotels, depending on where it is, gives you your leash is a little bit longer to be creative, and that's what I appreciate the most. And then third would be nursing homes, but I totally agree on everything you said, because it's more so for the staff than it is for the resident or the patient that's staying there. And some of those cafes, some of those cafeterias, it's a lot of little hidden gems, and you like, damn, they got this, like no way. But then you get it, and it's like it was amazing. You never would have thought. So
Yeah, the one joint I worked at, it was like we had those like a food for thought meeting, or the joint where you was making the meetings like 2 minutes. What was it called?
the what food committee meeting?
Yeah, so like food committee meeting. Some lady was like, can I get lobster? And I was like, you know what? I don't see why not. So they get lobster. So like it got its moments in its pockets. With nursing homes, it's just it depends.
No, yeah, for sure, it definitely does. And as far as the date night stuff for me, um, for me, it's very different, and it can be difficult sometimes. And I say it for this reason. So for me, being being married, my
Hmm.
date nights, I have to now think as far outside of the box as I can. And what I mean by that is,
You gotta call your boy more often. You feel me?
yeah, we have
I'm still out
our
here.
we have our chain restaurants that we love to go to, but we try not to frequent them as much as possible, because you don't want to get burnt out off of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be like, damn, this again. So for me, I do my due diligence as best I can, and now when we go out, we try to go someplace new that neither of us have been to
Hmm.
every time we go out now. And it's funny because it's simple for her, but for me, with the way my diet is these days, I try to find some place that we both can enjoy.
For sure.
And that is the difficult part. But um she sends me a ton of stuff to my DM from different Instagram pages, from places she finds, in the tri-state area, Philly, Jersey, Delaware. She even sends me stuff from New York sometimes. Like, all right, well, whenever we're in New York, we'll go there. But we just try to keep it fresh at this point, because again, you don't want to get so comfortable with certain places that you go to that without even realizing it, you just you might have like five restaurants in constant rotation. and you're always going to the same places. So again, like you alluded to, I try to find places with a good menu, but the ambiance is nice. Some places that have live entertainment, like jazz bands or like musicians, spoken word, poetry, stuff like that. Your trap and paint is fun sometimes. The paint and sip. Um, I love a spot that's BYOB where they focus on the food and they'll let you bring your alcohol or whatever you want to bring.
Well, I
I
mean,
love it.
it's cheaper than buying a liquor license just to let you bring your own stuff in.
No, absolutely it is. But a couple of BYOBs that I've been to, their menus was like top tier. But I think because they didn't spend that all that extra money on focusing on putting a bar in there as well, they can focus on what's important, which is the food.
Yeah.
And then you want to bring your bottle of wine or your liquor or your champagne, whatever, will charge you a cup fee or a little $5-10 to bring your bottle in, and then go ahead have at it. So, but I know you know the places, so I definitely will be reaching out to you more. Like, yo, look, man, I need a spot. Like, put me on.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah.
But
Listen,
yeah,
listen. The couple I gave and a couple P, but the couple joints P about to give. Yeah, don't be looking for us there. We done moved on from them already. You feel me?
right.
So there you
But
go.
this was it was a very easy topic to talk about, but it was on my mind and it was something that I was thinking about. And lately, our last couple of episodes, all of our episodes are good. Like, I'm not saying this because I'm on the show, I'm a co-host or whatever the case may be, but I think the product that we put out week after week um is very thought provoking, and it's very they can be heavy sometimes. Between our serious shows, we have our specials that we put out, or whatever the case may be. But I said to myself, I said, you know what? I want me and Mills to just have a conversation. Even though we have conversations every week, just, keep it light. Let's just talk about stuff that we talk about any other day. But this is why I said that I really want our listeners to chime in, because I really want to know where people go. I want to know, like what are y'all into? Like, when y'all out here in the mix and y'all going to eat. What's what's the thought behind the process you put together when you're getting ready to go out on a date, or I want to try this place or I want to try that place? Because for me, it's just interesting. And
Is it because you've been out the game for so long?
no, absolutely not.
Okay.
No, like that A has nothing to do with B. Like, trust me, this isn't for me. But
I was just curious.
no, like, I'm not trying to get crazy tips from people out, like, oh, I'm gonna steal that. No, it's just, it's so much to do. And I think, as far as the food, and then, like you talked about before, with the culture in the city,
Hmm.
like, there's so many places to eat, and there's so many hidden gems, and it's so much to do. And I think people have to be okay with getting out of their comfort zone, per se, and not wanting to do the same things over and over again, and not wanting to go to frequent the same places over and over again. Because I think you pigeonhole yourself when you do that, and you have to just be open to trying new stuff. And you know, it's so much to do. So I just wanted to just shine a light on that. Like, it's really a lot out here, even outside of the city. Like, it's so much out here. Like, focus on. Don't be a soda and nuggets guy.
No, and even listen, the best and the thing is too, you can be a soda and nuggets guy, but you gotta add value to it, but then also too, whoever you're dating and wherever you're into, you always got to think about the other person's, their counterparts, their interests too. There's something for everybody. And matter of
No,
fact, I'll say this one, Reaki Ramen. There's a cool date spot, but it's anime inspired on the inside.
okay.
So like, yeah, it's a dope ramen spot, and the ramen's phenomenal. But if you want some date night, or a quick date, come on, let's go get lunch, and you quick date, lunch date, and you go in there, and y'all both into the same thing. Like, it's like, oh wow, like, oh, I remember this. Like, and you get sparks the conversation. So it's equal parts entertainment and equal parts. Okay, let's get some grub.
Right. Okay.
So,
So, what you got for us this week on our motivational tip?
um, this will be a topic we could touch on Patreon, but
Okay.
just put a button in this because we're going to touch on this later. But on a motivational mic drop tip is, your truth is your truth. Do not let anyone's observation define who you are. And
Oh, okay.
I know that's easier said than done, because just as just us being two black men, we already behind the eight ball. We already get viewed a certain way. That should never play a part in how you move in life. So there you go.
I know you said we're going to put a pin in it, and we are,
Yeah.
but that right there was one of like that was top three for you.
Yo, we'll talk on the Patreon, and then we'll even talk off air. But like, bro, yeah, listen. Don't let nobody put like something on you that's not what you put there yourself.
Right. No, absolutely.
So what you got, man? Short, sweet, quick to the point.
Right. Um, Lost my train of thought for a second, and my little funky ass motivational. um, no, but I would have to say for this week, my motivational mic drop would be okay with walking alone. You know, they say that the loneliest road walked is the one you walk by yourself. But be okay with walking alone because you don't know who you can be and what you can accomplish until you venture out and do your own thing.
For sure.
Being part of the crowd is okay in certain circumstances, certain instances, but you want to be your own person. You want to create your own lane. You want to do your own thing. So be okay with walking alone. And that right there is super self explanatory in itself. There's really no need to do a deep dive into it. But, you know, for anybody that needed to hear that, that's for you. Be okay with walking alone.
No, for sure. And then that's so deep within itself too, because it's so layered. Because within that, like taking that trek by yourself and alone, that's when you find out who you really are and what you really made of.
No, for sure.
So, no, that's a bar.
But I appreciate you doing this for me with us being so busy and not being able to link up with, you know, me calling in to make sure that we give our listeners, you know, the show that we promise to give them each week. I'm going to get back and enjoy this anniversary as much as I can, but
That's a man.
business sometimes comes first. And like I said, we'll never put ourselves in a position where people say, "Oh, they starting to fall off." Absolutely not.
Oh no, not at all, man. Not at all. And I think it kind of worked out for the better because it does add a little, it adds a character to our journey. Cause you think
No,
about,
yeah, for sure it
if you
does.
think about it, it's like, damn, they almost went sick. They went damn near 6 months, and they still gave us something when they didn't really have to. Come on, how many including the Patreon, bro? We had like this over 30 at least.
Yeah, and it's funny because the week was steadily going by, and I text you, and I'm like, yo, Saturday is 2 days away. Like we got to record, and we're trying to figure it out. And then you came up with the genius idea,
Call in,
and
dog.
you said, yo, just call in, and we'll just do it remote. And there you have it. Here we are.
So yeah, this has been a great episode. It's been fun. This is kind of funny because now it's like, damn, they really going to will themselves to greatness as far as this go.
No,
So
absolutely, absolutely, and it just goes to show also for anybody that's going through whatever you're going through out here, as you navigate out here in these streets in the world. What we did today is an example of don't let things stand in your way to the point where it knocks you off your square. Because we could have easily said, bro, I guess we've been too busy this week. Like 1 week ain't going to kill us. No, 1 week will kill us because we hold ourselves to a certain standard.
mhm.
And our standard is our standard. Everybody else's standard is their standard. But we cannot take our feet off the gas. We
Nope.
can't. And whatever you got going on, please do not make excuses for yourself. Do not take your feet off the gas. Do what you got to do. Sometimes you do have to put a pin in things and come back to them, but just make sure that you spin the block and you come back. So, with that being said, everybody enjoy your week. Please continue to be safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you for continuing to tune in. Please continue to DM us, comment. You know where to find us, but just in case you don't, Nils, he can tell you.
You can find us at the Food Joint Podcast at gmail.com. That's TheFoodJawnPodcast at gmail.com.
Hey, bro, look, man, like I said it already. I said it once, I said it twice, man. Thank you for doing this for me today, man.
Oh, no doubt, bro.
This was a great show. I'm definitely going to find time to link up though. So I got definitely got to pull up on you at the studio, and we'll continue to do our thing, man. So I'm gonna get with you, listeners. Thank y'all so much. Until next week.
All right, listeners, as a unit, just say 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, P and the missus.
Oh man, look, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all too so much, man.
Yeah, no problem, bro. All right, be safe out there. Send my
All right,
love.
man. Got you.
Love, peace, and chicken grease. We outie.